This week on 60 Seconds. The man behind Bruce Willis's die-hard feat. Footballer Jet Bomber.
The man behind Bruce Willis's feet? Really? Well, if you say so. I'll have to tell that one to Al later. You know Alan Rickman? He's in Die Hard too.
So, what does a foot bomber do?
Well, we're not podiatrists. No. It's important to remember that. To the uninitiated, a foot bomber tends to the integrity of a person's soul. Yes, we rub balm uniquely engineered to a person's feet. We care very much, yes, very much. In fact, you might say we're the spiritual gurus of the foot world. That's what I say to Alan Rickman.
What sort of balm did you use for Bruce Willis?
One with sandalwood, rose hips, Japanese plum blossom, and patrimon grass. It's a small shrub found only on the northern slopes of the highest Himalayan mountains.
And how was it to work with Mr. Willis's feet?
Bruce's feet were a delight. Oh, yeah. If I could have invited any pair of feet to my daughter's wedding, it'd have been Bruce Willis's. Also Alan Rickman, actually. All of Alan Rickman.
Right. So what made Bruce Willis's feet so special?
Firstly, no bunions. Whew, that's a joy. One job I had, won't name names, so much bunion. Bunion City. Bruce's feet are perfect. Yes. Not that there's anything wrong with bunions, though. No, love your feet. Love them, yes. That's what I say to Alan Rickman. He's a great man.
But Bruce's are a cut above the rest.
Oh, they sure are. In fact, I let my students work on them with Bruce's permission, of course. Because they're really very rewarding for the novice bomber. But at the same time, they have subtleties, especially around the heels, that give them master satisfaction too. Yeah. But I shouldn't have let Harris near them. No, that boy doesn't respect feet. I've spoken to Alan Rickman about him, and we both agree he's one to keep an eye on.
Alan Rickman, sure. But let's talk about challenges. What did you face on Die Hard?
There's the glass scene.
Shoot the glass.
The studio even promoted the film using a poster with a pair of bloody feet and the phrase, "Shoot the glass." What kind of sadist goes and watches a film based on injury to feet? So much as a stray clipped nail in Bruce Willis's feet, and I'm on the floor with a pair of tweezers to preserve that man's soul. All that glass. I had to bake on a layer of wax to Bruce's feet to keep them safe. Unfortunately, I had the aforementioned Harris with me that day, and I left him with the candle. I shouldn't have. There was slight burning. The scene after the glass where Bruce is bandaging his feet. Slight burning.
Yo, pal, you got a minute?
I'd have been angry with Alan Rickman for shooting all the glass in the first place, but you can't be angry with Alan Rickman. You can only love Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman again. You sure seem a fan of him.
Oh, yes, I am. You know, he complimented me on my Barmer kit. A Barmer lives by their Barmer kit, and to get a compliment on it is magnificent. And a compliment from a man like Alan Rickman.
Cool. But back to Bruce Willis. How does...
It's one of the best moments of my life to get a compliment from Alan Rickman. It's like my daughter's wedding all over again.
This guy and Rickman. Terry, can we cut this here? Surely we got enough. Well, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes? Really? I felt longer.
Alan!
Okay, we're done.
I love you!
Thank you, Mr. Palmer.